Hello, I'm Katie with Created to Create, and I'm going to make just a real short video that just shows you how I knit. You can see here I have 10 stitches on this needle. I have no stitches on this needle. And this is how I knit. I go in through the front door, around the back, I peep through the window, and off jumps Jack. I go in through the front door, around the back, I peep through this window, and off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, and off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, and off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, and off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, and off jumps Jack. The last stitch is exactly the same. In through the front door, around the back, peep through the window, and off jumps Jack. Now you'll notice that the left hand needle is empty, and my right hand needle has 10 brand new stitches. In order to continue to knit, I'm going to switch hands, bringing the stitches back into my left hand and the empty needle back into my right hand. Now, my yarn is coming out of the front, so I'm going to go under my needle and put it in the back. And I'm going to do the same thing again. In through the front door, around the back, peek through the window, and off jumps Jack. So things I like to tell my students to remember when I'm teaching knitting is that you don't want to hold your needles way down on the end. You want to be right up close to where your stitches are so your fingers can stay in control. You notice my left hand's fingers are right up by the ends of my needles. Also notice that my right hand continues to hold my yarn throughout. I'm not dropping it and letting go of it. It stays in my hand. You'll also notice it's very loose in my hand. It could easily be pulled through. This keeps your stitches nice and loose. And again, I've got 10 new stitches in my right hand and nothing in my left, so I'm going to switch. Make sure that my yarn is under my needle and in the back. There's all kinds of ways to hold your yarn. Whoop, that's my tail yarn. We don't want to get that. Whoop, sorry. There's all kinds of ways to hold the yarn. I like to hold my yarn just laid loosely over 3 fingers, and in between here, that's how I control how tight it is, and let it run smoothly over my hand like that. But there's all kinds of ways. There's no, well, there's, I guess, an official correct way. This is not it. But whatever works well for you is what I would say is the right way to do it. Now, this is just a simple video to show the people from Yarn Club how I knit, because I teach them to knit. It's probably going to be less confusing for them to watch this if they need a refresher than some other more formal tutorial video. But I highly recommend Very Pink Knits if you're trying to learn to knit. Her tutorial videos are very professionally done, and her dogs are not barking in the background. But we do it again. We just keep going. In through the front door, around the back, peek through the window, and off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peek through the window, and off jumps Jack. In through the front door, around the back, peek through the window, and off jumps Jack. And you just keep doing this over and over again. I will show you, once I go through the front door, if you turn it, you can see I'm inside the stitch loop there. There's the back leg. There's the front leg of the stitch. When I'm peeking through the window, my yarn is going in between my needles, and then I pull gently so it goes below my needle, and there you can see it coming out the bottom. And that's how I knit. This is called throwing. A lot of times you'll hear people say I knit English or throwing. There's a few different ways that you can do knitting. This is just one way. There's no wrong way. Some people do a thing where they flick the yarn. My mother actually does this, where she doesn't actually let go of her needle, and I don't know how she does it, but she just flicks her finger up. Oop, see? She just sort of flicks her finger up and around, catches that needle. I think that Very Pink knits this way also, and her yarn always stays running over this finger. I can't do it. But that's another perfectly acceptable way to knit. Some people will hold the yarn in their left hand. That's perfectly correct. That's usually referred to as continental or picking. And any of that's okay. But this is how I knit. So if you come to Yarn Club and are taught to knit by me, this is what I'm going to show you how to do. And so this is just a little reminder video so that you have something to look at. That's the way I showed you in Yarn Club. I hope you guys have a great day.